What's up, everybody? This is Derek Collado from Sit Stay Sober, and in this video we're going to be talking about our senior dogs, our elderly dogs, and kind of some tips that may help you as your dogs are getting into their twilight years and the end of their life. So first things first is go to your vet and get them checked out about every 6 to 12 months. Like it's gonna be a lot more frequent. It's like basically the amount that you would like typically bring your puppy is towards the end is how often you're gonna probably be bringing your older dog, right? And the things that we're really just looking for is that, because a lot of things to go is their sense of hearing, sense of like their eyesight, and then cognitively they can kind of start to slip too. There's all types of like little skin growths and lumps that they get, and it's just nice to have your vet give them a look to make sure that things are still looking good. And I've worked with plenty of dogs, and even my old pit bull, he had this like weird lump on his freaking stomach. We got it checked out. They did tests on it. It was non-cancerous, but when you looked at it, you're just like, oh my god, that thing looks like he's got cancer of the belly, you know. But yeah, so, and then he became deaf towards the end. Like you could literally just be like, oh, and he was just like in his own world. So going to a vet just a little bit more frequently than you would than when they were like 4 years old, 5 years old. Probably gonna start going like 6 to 12 months, like really get in there, and just have your vet give them kind of just an overall checkup. 2 is, now that they're older, their joints and their muscles can't take the same kind of beating like it could when they were younger. So it's just like humans. You could have been a college athlete, but by the time you're 70, you ain't freaking dunking with the boys anymore. You're, maybe shooting free throws or playing pickleball. So don't keep these like routines like, oh, my dog used to walk 3 miles a day. Like, we're gonna keep doing those 3-mile walks. Like, no, a lot of times with the older dogs, you're gonna like kill that low impact stuff on their joints. There's all types of like dog rehab facilities, and some vets have them. They're basically like water treadmills, where a dog can walk like in water. Some people just have pools, and you can just take your dog in the pool and just low impact on their joints, so they're still getting exercise, but it's not just beating on their hips and knees and elbows. So the thing you can do is provide more like brain games and like more like enriching type activities. So puzzle toys, games where like they're trying to use their nose, and one of the simplest games and like little activities is just simply getting a towel, like a beach towel, and like wrinkling it and folding it and just putting treats and stuff all within the towel, so the dog has to like use his nose and push the towel around to get to the treats. And if you're worried about your dog being overweight, you can use some of their kibble, like from their breakfast or their dinner, and replace that with, or put that in the towel, so that way they're not necessarily overeating. And this just again provides a low impact kind of exercise for your older dog. That way, it's like my pit bull used to love the tennis ball, and he would do the chuck it. And then he got old, and it was like if I threw a chuck it, and he went and like in his mind and in his heart he wanted to chase that thing. If I let him do it, just all 4 elbows and knees, or like his knees and elbows, would just like explode, So I didn't want to do that to the poor guy. So we switched it up and we did like more activities, and he enjoyed the hell out of it. When he saw this puzzle toys come out, or he saw me go to the closet for the puzzle toys, he was very excited. So don't feel too bad, just provide a different source of stimulation. So, and then just like the third thing I'll talk about is sometimes by getting a younger dog can be beneficial to the older dog. Kind of keeps them young in spirit, secretly gets them moving more, because the new puppy brings that kind of like usefulness to the environment, and the older dogs can be part of it. But this really depends on your dog, okay? So if your elderly dog never got along with older dog or any other dog, I'm not saying go get the dog, but I've seen it where maybe the dog's like 7 years old, so starting to get to the later years, 8 years old, where they bring in a new dog, and it can kind of bring the life out. But again, you have to be mindful of the dynamic that's going on. You have one dog that's becoming a puppy going into a dog, and then you have one dog who's just slowing down a lot. And usually the issues I'll see is the young pup playing too rough with an older dog, or the young pup is taking a lot of things from the older dog because they have that speed and they're like a quick reflex, and they just quickly learn like, oh, if I can just sneak in and grab the bone and run away, I can. So then you're getting like sour reactions from the older dog to the younger dog, and just the poor older dog is just getting beat up on its way, like on its end years. So it's just something to think about. Like, yes, it can be beneficial, but it really is dependent on the dog. A lot of times, I think people just hear that advice and they go out, like their dog's 10 years old and they go out and they get an 8-week-old puppy, and it can just create hell for the owners and hell for the older dog. And same thing with the younger dog. The younger dog is like, I just want to play, and then the older dog wants nothing to do with them. So just keep it in mind, and something to think about as your dog gets older. Hopefully some of this stuff you can apply to you guys and your dog and your situation. If you have any tips or advice, put it in the comment section. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.